G'day folks, welcome back to the channel for episode number 3 of our Templar skater build, where we're going to go do some cleanup of Act 1 before we go to kill the Warden. So we're heading back to town, and we're going to talk to all of the quest givers and such that we have completed quests for. That was friendly with Devil's Crossing, which means we will now have access to the fabric quest that I was discussing in the last episode. We may as well talk to Bourbon, why not? It's been a long time since I've actually had the quest to kill the Warden before I killed him. But that's fine. So Doreni here, because we have the cultist orders, we can talk to him, and we can kill him. You can choose to let him go, as I mentioned in the last episode, but I honestly think it's better to kill him. There we go. Damage over time, doing lots of damage, just taking a little bit of time. Okay, there's our cook. And there's 2 more up here. So Sedina, I did have access to this right from the start, and it's only 100 XP. But that's fine. Constance here will send you to get the fabric. Because I have them, I have the option there to say, is this the fabric you're looking for? And then she will give you this fortified doublet, or doublet, or however you say that word. This is always the same reward for every character, and this is just a generically good chest piece for level 20. Most of my characters, when they hit level 20, end up equipping this just because the armor is quite good, it's got a good pile of health, decent resistances, and a little bit of energy regen. It's a not amazing but good weapon. Sorry, not weapon, chest piece. I'm also going to dump all the components in the bank, except for that Searing Ember, just in case. And make a little pile here for all of the potions we've been collecting. The only one of these that I would keep if I had it is the Aether Resistance Potion for use against Craig. You could use the Fire one, just because those zombies that throw fireballs at you are about to become a whole lot more prevalent. Right. The other little bit of cleanup we're going to do is we're going to head back to Orich Village. We're going to head, what's this, southwest here? I'm going to go kill these 2 zombies just to get them off of our quest list. That one's blocked, so we should be able to just walk straight down there. Touch wood. Okay, flash freeze. Set everything that's left on fire, and we're good. Now I'm going to back up a little bit here just to give the cooldowns time to come back. Okay, we've activated one of the zombies there. So you can see them on the map. The little star will actually move on the map. Here we go, watch him here. So, oops, missed. This guy is cold, he might be immune to that anyway. We definitely are not. Yep, he's immune to that, so... Just keep an eye on your health bar when you're doing this. And he should die. I mean, he will die, but... There we go. Did not get very many procs of Aether Fire from that. So, once we get this one, Volcanic Stride, Tectonic Shift is nice, but specifically once we get this, we will be able to dash and it'll leave a trail of fire, and every tick of that fire will be able to proc that. Range on this is really short. There we go, no cold resistances, which lets us strip the fire resistances off of enemies with elixirs, and then they die very quickly. This belt. Are we going to use this belt? Yes, we are. At which point we could throw that on the floor, we don't need it anymore. Okay, into the Warden's Cellar. There's a couple of noteworthy things in the Warden Cellar. The major one being the ancient Aether totem, which we are staying away from. Arcanists in general should not be attempting to kill that. Why is this not dying? You are far too squishy early on, and you don't have the raw power for the spells that you will have later. So certainly for normal, maybe even for elite, I would strongly recommend that you pretend that the Aether totem, the ancient one, this one, it's not there. That totem does not exist as far as your build is concerned, because if you try and fight it, you're going to die. Some builds can fight it in normal. This is not one of them. Do yourself a favor and avoid it. Okay, underground transit. So we have one more devotion shrine in here, and then we have access to Warden Craig's lab, which is where we will be heading. 17, so we get one more point in there. Let me just clear out this room here. And this guy in particular. Okay, we are starting Oathkeeper. Actually, no, we're following the guide. We're starting Oathkeeper. Now, our goal is to get to Vire's Might, so 3 more levels, we will have 1 point in Vire's Might, and then we need another 3 levels, and we can start pumping Volcanic Stride. But we are now officially a Templar, which is always fun. Let's see if we can just walk through here without fighting all this. Failing that, they can follow us into the next pack and we'll blow them all up together. Actually, let's do it this way. There we go. Mutagenic Ichor is worth picking up. It's useful for crafting later. That should be the end of all of these. So just here behind this wall, you will find hidden loot. You will hear me complain fairly frequently about how there is very little in the way of meaningful loot out of those hidden chests. You almost never get something good. And yet I keep going down there to check them out. The Molten seems like something we want to avoid. Okay, let's just grab our skill point, finish our little playmates off. And one more, there we go. Okay, so our next trick is to start on, I believe it's the Quill, I will double check. It is indeed the Quill. So we get a little more elemental, some Aether res, health and energy, and then elemental damage, energy, defensive ability. All good stuff. The reason we take those though is to get access to the Rowan's Crown here. This will give us 3 green, 3 purple, which is basically what we need. Yes, because we already have 3 green there, so we will have 1 point in purple here, and that'll give us the Rowan's Crown, which is our resistance shred. Not entirely sure why that didn't die in 1 hit. That's fine. Okay, we are going to do a lot of get a lot of XP in this little section here. This section is absolutely flooded with zombies pretty much all the time, and you can get a decent amount of XP from just chilling the entire room. And the best part is, there's 2 of those rooms. Here's the second one. Okay, we'll come back for that one, but I just want to hit this one first. Also, there's going to be, yep, here we go, these guys. And now we get all of this stuff chasing us. And with the exception of the cold ones, we can just take them all out in one go. Cold guys we will have to come back for. Okay, and now we head back and we'll just pick up all the stuff we left on the floor, these aether crystals. You definitely don't need to do that. I'm actually not sure why I did, but hey, it's fun, why not? Let's see if we can play that same game again in here. Do have to be somewhat aware of your health bar and willing to use potions. So speaking of, how many health potions do we have? I've been using a lot of these throughout this act, way more than I normally would. So I'm glad it's as high as it is. Also somewhat surprised it's as high as it is, but that's fine. Alright, here we go. Everybody stop. Okay, so the laboratory, in normal, you don't really care too much about running into all the little secret nooks and crannies. If you want to go exploring, there is actually a decent amount of stuff to find. I'm going to hit the lore notes, because I like XP. But you definitely don't need to do that. In normal, there's an exalted chest, a one-shot chest with a guaranteed blue item in it. You don't need to go get that. It's honestly, it's going to slow you down a lot more than the blue item will be worth. Even if the blue item is relevant to the build, and it's almost certainly not. But even if it is, it's going to be a very long detour to get it. The downside of cooldown casters. Alright, Oathkeeper, 3 points in the bar. So I decided at the start of this that I was going to follow the guide, and I will be doing that, but if I was writing this guide, I would definitely have a few points in Maven Sphere already. At least 3. Just for a little bit of extra defenses, because I know that Arcanists are incredibly squishy. Alright, here we go. These 2 big guys will melt. I'm gonna clean this room out a little bit before we go in there. Because we have to get quite close to use this thing. I don't know why that didn't take very much in the way of damage, but this one died in half a second, so who knows. Maybe I was too close for it, I'm not sure. Alright, there's our Aether Crystals. Now one thing to note about this particular area is you don't actually have to clear this area. You can just run into Krieg's room, and all of this stuff will get locked out by the door. Alright, there we go. And you can see the Aether Fire pulls kind of sitting underneath him, and they'll just tick along, do a decent amount of damage. Because this is being applied by the player, the stats on that Aether Fire are more or less accurate. So 51% chance, because this has a cooldown, that percentage is increased from 15%, which is the base. And then you'll see, I'm not sure why the Aether damage is so much higher on that. I would have expected the fire damage to be higher, but I guess we don't really have... Fire damage modifier 120, Aether 50. Must just have natively more Aether damage. That's fine. Right, so Warden Craig has two forms. The first form is honestly a bit of a joke. I'm thinking I can probably face tank the first form. We may need to kite the second form, which is going to be interesting. But yeah, let's give it a shot, see what happens. I don't know if I can chill him. I cannot. I was kind of expecting not. Can chill his friend though, so there is that. So I'm watching the cooldown on my potion. This second form is going to be, it's going to be something. So because we have him standing in those Aether pools, we are doing a decent amount of damage over time from that. Alright, he's dead. Okay, now this form has a pattern. Every time he charges, he will do a big stomp afterwards. Then usually he's going to do that, and now he'll shoot arrows at us. These little arrows, if they hit you, they will hurt. We may just have to fireball him down. This could take quite a while. So there's his dash, here comes the stomp. Now we dodge to the side. I guess it's not always the Aether Wave. Alright, here comes the stomp again. There's the wave. Whoops, way too close there. Okay. I think when he dashes at us, I think I can hit him with the Agravix's Malice. No, that's the wrong word. That's the Mutator. I definitely cannot hit him with that. Calidor's Tempest, that's the one. Names are hard. Maybe I can, actually. And with him standing still after he does that, he'll stand in the Aether Fire proc, if there is one as well. Yeah, damage from that is decent. This is by far the... I won't say the worst build I've fought the Warden with, but it's pretty close. Once you know how he works though, you can generally dodge most of his damage. So now it's just a matter of waiting for him to charge, hit him with that, run away, throw fireballs at him until he charges you again. And then as long as you dodge, he should go down. I won't say easily, but this is definitely one of the more obnoxious fights I've had with him. And don't do what I normally do, which is go, oh, he's low, I should be able to kill him now, and go try and stand in front of him. Don't do that. Take it from me. He'll just kill you. You think he's low, but he's got more than enough health to kill you before he goes down. I think that's the first time he's hit us with those. Those darts are majority bleed and pierce damage. See what I mean? He hit me once, I think, on the charge, and then his stomp took us down to like 600 health or something like that. Okay. So the Warden is dead. What did he drop? He dropped his shield. So this is an MI. I'm using a mod for those colors. The mod is called Rainbow Filter. You can find it by googling Grim Dawn Rainbow Filter. It's on the Crate forums. There is a thread there, you can find it if I remember. I will link it in the description. I probably won't remember, but I'll try. So that's how I'm getting the different colors. If you don't have that mod installed, then this entire item will be the green color that's the same as of Imposing Presence on this one. The different sort of olive green Warden's Fortress there shows me that it is an MI. And then the yellow of Impassable shows that that prefix is a magic prefix. Same with all these other ones. So the grey and white just shows the base item. I don't think we're going to use any of these items. Probably should use this just because of the armor. In fact, I will use it for the armor. And probably same for those shoulders. So coming into Act 2, Act 1 resistances are important. That's the best drop I've had so far on this character. So that's our new boots. These ones here do give you 5% XP. That's not why I like these boots. I like these boots because you have reduced entrapment duration, slow resistance, and most importantly, 14% movement speed. So these are going on, and I don't know when I'm going to remove them, to be honest. Explorer's footpads, if you can get them, are probably the best boots in the game until at least level 30 to 50. Probably 50, honestly. Insight proc is nice, though. Right, so Act 2, resistances become much more important. Let's just go around and turn all these quests in that I have. The Warden's dead, so we'll talk to Bourbon. I think I've actually turned most of them in, which is unusual for me.
What's with all the commotion?
Dureni. So Dureni, if you kill him, will give you a Blood of Chthon, which these are actually incredibly rare until later on.
Is it finished? The warden's
So it's worth getting them.
So you must be the
Okay. So, as I was saying, resistances in Act 2 are a lot more important than they are in Act 1. Specifically in Act 2, the entire top row, but especially piercing, and bleeding. Vitality is really important for a single monster in Act 2. Aether and Chaos are pretty much not important in Act 2. They will be important around Homestead or Act 3. Same with the Vitality. But for Act 2, Fire definitely, Lightning, Cold, this whole top row, and Bleeding. So, we are going to go to this one, Accessories and Consumables. We'll type in SIL. We only have the stuff to make one Resilient Plating, which is unfortunate, because that means we're only getting one Silk Swatch. Because we need another Resilient Plating, for which we need 2 more Scavenge Platings, but that's fine. Silk Swatch on your shoulders. You may have better resistances than I do. You want at least 50%, honestly. Anything less than 50% on any of this top row or bleeding, and you're maybe in trouble. Wardstone is good for elemental and bleeding. You can put these on medals and amulets. I want 2 of those. 1 on my amulet, and I don't have a medal yet. I believe you can make ranges badge or ribbon, so I'm not going to make this because I don't have. So do. Okay, Ranger's Ribbon. If you don't already have one, you can probably just buy one, honestly, but the Ranger's Ribbon is decent. And it's going to help with our resistances. So they're above 50. That's kind of okay. It's not amazing, but it's okay. And then Anti-Venom Salve, if I had another Scavenge Plating, or if I could make one from a Bristly Fur, or if I could make one from a Scavenge Plating, I might be able to just buy one, honestly. I do want the Anti-Venom. Bristly Fur. I was going to say you could just buy a medal here, and if you can find one with +2 to a skill you like, that's also worth buying. But I've already made one, so that's fine. One Scavenge Plating, that'll do us. So Anti-Venom Salve on your belt. You'll notice it has +24 armor. Look at the top line there. My head, 15% chance to be hit, and the armor rating is 80. Then I put this on my belt, and suddenly my armor rating on my head is 105. So, plus armor applied to slots that are not an actual armor slot. So, if you can get it on a medal, or if you can get it on rings and such, it applies to all of your armor slots. But if you put it on gloves, it'll only apply to the gloves. What else are we doing? Scaled hides. These you want to get at least one of, preferably two if you're not playing a soldier. Because of that second line there, increase armor absorption by 20%. So if you have a look at your armor again, that last column is the percentage of your armor rating that you can actually use. So even though my head says it's 105, I can actually only use, what would that be, like 73 of it? 74 maybe? But if I put one of these on, that'll increase it to, I want to say 84%. There's some weird math going on there. Let's see if I can. These are actually pretty expensive. You know what? We'll get those drops later. Let's head over to our good friend the Emissary. Now, if you don't have Forgotten Gods, well, don't follow this playthrough because you also won't have Oathkeeper. But we are going to go into the Forgotten Gods area. And we will be doing the first quest in here. So talk to the Emissary. What is this place? What do you need me for? Blah, blah, blah. Yes, I'll do your challenge. There's a bunch of books, law notes around here that we're going to pick up. Basically going to do a circle of the entire area. Collect all of these books. Because this is all XP. This is actually not the reason why we're here, but everybody loves XP, right? Okay, gloves of casting speed. They could be good. They are very, very good. Yes. Alright, keep going around collecting our law notes here. Okay, I think that's it here. So we go across. Be one more in this area here. Alright, I think that's all of them. If it's not, it's no big deal. There's level 19. Again, we are moving towards Fire's Might. And now we have to do the Eldritch Trial in order to get access to the next quest, which will give us a movement rune. Although the guide does not use a movement rune, so take that for what it's worth. Don't want to go into the Shattered Realm, thank you very much. Okay, and now we get a bunch of elites. which are dying nicely to our damage over time. There we go. You can kite them or not as you choose. There we go. Okay, congratulations, we beat the trial. We got a Void Blade, which we're almost certainly not going to use. That weapon is no good for us, those gloves are no good for us, and those boots sure don't beat the Explorer's footpad. Oh. Apparently I missed one.
The emissary was right.
Okay. So quest complete, you can now choose which one of the 3 witch gods you want to join. Let's just complete that quest. What you want to think about for this is which one of these skills you want to get. So Agile Huntress gives you a disengage, which is jump backwards. Charging Bull is basically blitz from the soldier. You also want to consider what kind of damage you're going to be doing. So Soleil is going to be fire and chaos, so it may be taking them. Drieg has the best movement rune for a caster. The Riftstalker I think is the best one. Focus Rage here, this is again just charging.
Put it to good use.
Probably the same as Blitz.
Come see what's left of my wares.
Leaping Mantis, this is more or less leap attack from Diablo 2. You click on the floor and your character jumps there, slams the floor, does damage, stuns, etc. And Shadowy Assassin is the Nightblade's Shadow Strike. So depending on which one of these you like will depend on which cult you want to join. I do believe, I will just check, there are no explanations in the guide as far as I can see for which cult you should choose. And it's a preference based on these for me. You will end up getting all 3 of the witch cults to maximum reputation in Ultimate anyway. I'm going to take Drieg just so as I can get the Riftstalker emblem, because it is my preference for a movement skill. And we may as well do Riggs' quest while we're here. So he's going to just give us stuff. And it's almost always garbage. It's garbage. But we will use it for a later quest, and I think it gave some reputation as well. Okay, we are done here, and actually I'm not going to head into Act 2 just yet. I'm going to do that in the next episode, so this will be the end of episode number 3. Thank you all very much for watching. I'll see you on the next one for Act 2, and goodbye.